Heal my heart, my mind will change, my desire, and my whole life. I need your rain, healing rain, fall on me and heal my heart. My mind will change, my desire and my whole life. Need your rain, just open the heavens, and heal my heart, say. My mind will change, my whole life. I'm asking for your rain. One more time, let it rain, say. Heal my heart, say. My mind will change, my desire. God, I'm asking for. That you will let it rain, that you will rend the heavens and pour down your lot of rain. Send the rain.
All right, it's a delight to come to all of you. I'm going to trust God that we're going to have a very educative time together. What we're going to talk about today pretty much is the first installment of the discussion on relationship. So I want you to pay attention. It's going to be very fun. The first thing that we're going to talk about today is to find the right time to get married, or to get married at the right time. Now, the key thing we're going to talk about today is the fact that I'll put a story across. Now, the story is this. If you consider two people, for example, now I'm going to put two people in front of you. The first one is in medical school, and the second one is a single lady. Now consider the fact that now the single lady is going to trust God or just do her best to get married, and then the second person is going to graduate from medical school. If you ask the person, when are you graduating from medical school, the person will tell you that I'm going to graduate based on the year that they are in school. She will say something like, I will be a doctor in 4 years. If you ask the person, when are you going to get married, the person will say, I don't know when I'm going to get married. The reason is because the person in medical school, the only reason they know they're going to graduate is because they are going through a program which is systematically designed. There's a first year, there's a second year, there's a third year, and there's a final year. So based on that, they can definitively say that I'm going to graduate, or I'm going to be a doctor in this particular year. Now, if you ask the person who is single, when are you going to be married? Because there's no structure, there's no system in place, they can't tell you when they're going to get married, because it is all by time and chance. All right. And that is how we have kind of allow life to put us in that kind of structure. Now, follow me with this conversation. So the first I want you to understand is the fact that now, before time, there was no school, there was no medical school, there was no structure like that. Before school started, there was no school. So some people sat down and realized that for us to have better practices, we must introduce formal education. So formal education is man-made. You understand? But because it has been made and systematically done, and now it has been even both legalized and also has given what I call formalized, people can have the benefit of gaining that. So I want to go back and let you understand that in the same way, before school started, the family already existed. And the family structure was such that before you come out of your family, your mom and dad and your sisters and your siblings, it was thought that the family will also raise you and help you and kind of bring you to a place where you're also going to get a partner to marry. So just as the medical school was helping people to become doctors, the family unit was supposed to help people for them to also become married material and also find themselves in the marriage. So to practicalize everything, let me say it like this. The way you ensure that you're going to get married at a particular time is to have a structure that you have made in place, and that's the discussion we're going to talk about. You have to have a kind of a structure in place. That structure will kind of guide you so that you are not always kind of keeping your fingers crossed, hoping that this is the year I get married, hoping that this is the following year I get married. If you do that, you can stay single forever and you may or may not get married. But if you have a structure in place, as a very creative structure that you have made for yourself in place, when the structure works as a machine, it will bring you the possibility of getting married based on the plan. As a pastor, I will preach and just prophesy to people that may God give you a husband and a wife. But I understand that it can happen by chance, but we want to get married by design because it is also an important area of your life. All right. So that is the conversation you're going to have. So I'll be right back to show you how do I design a curriculum that will get me married properly at the right time. It's an out of the box kind of thinking. So I hope you're going to enjoy this conversation. We're going to design a school that when you graduate, you come out with your life partner. And that is better than just dating anybody that comes your way. That is better than just hoping that you find Prince Charming. I want us to put structure in the pursuit of a life partner. And those are the things I will be talking about when I come back with the second portion of this program.
Young Trill on the beat.
For those of you that are afraid, hey, 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 you're not alone. God is in control. Oh, the Lord on your side. Oh, you are saying, hey, 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 hey. I know they fear. What's in life that to me? The Lord on my side. I am safe. It's not giving me spirit of fear. It's not giving me a reason to fear. He has given me power and a sound mind. So I don't fear who. I don't fear who. I don't fear who. I don't fear who. You're not alone, no. God is in control. The Lord on your side, oh. You are safe. You're not alone. God is in control. The Lord on your side, you are safe. I know they fear. Waiting like they do. The Lord on my side. I am safe. I'm not afraid. 'Cause I am not alone. God is in control. God is in control. I am not safe. I am not alone. fear waiting life they do me. The Lord on my side. I am saying, yeah, I'm not alone. You're not alone. God is in control. You're not alone. The Lord on your side. You're not alone. You are saying.
Young Trill on the beat.
All right, welcome back. So we are going to talk about how to structure yourself so that you have a system, a program, a particular strategy that is going to produce a quality relationship for you to be married at a particular time. That is kind of the project. Now, before you think it's a lot of work in trying to find a partner, let me tell you that every single person out there who's hoping to marry, what they have at their hands is time. Like they have Monday free, Tuesday free, Wednesday free. They are free because they are not dating anybody, so they are free in terms of that. So the strategy is to take the free time you have, a week, a month, to that free time you have as a single person, and you invest that time productively, and that time will yield you quality relationship that potentially you can accept. All right, so let me lay the foundation for you. It's not a good idea to date a stranger. I can tell you right away, it is fun, it's exciting, it feels good because you don't know the person, there's a mystery to it, but it's a really bad idea to date a stranger because chances are they are not as good as you think. You understand that? So approach in dating, you don't want to date a stranger. You understand that? It's a waste of time to date a stranger because when you date a stranger, it's 50-50. It's either they are good or they are bad. So your chance is only 50%, right? So with this strategy I'm talking about, what you do is that you take your time and you invest in what I call social third spaces. A social third space is defined as not your home or your job. Your job is your home is your social first space, your relative, the people you live with, that is your home, social first space. A social second space is your job, where you go to work. All right. So if you don't create a social third space, your life will be work, home, work, home, work, home. That's all you're going to have. And you're never going to get married if that's all your life is about. Because the people at your job, I don't think they hire people enough for new people to come there. For sometimes it happens, but sometimes dating a person at your job is really not a cool thing to do. But your first space is your home, your second space is your job. So you have to create what I call a social third space. It's a place that you select intentionally, one or two of them, depending on your schedule. Those of you that go to church, church is your third space, but you also know what happens at church. You can run out of people to date at church because most churches don't grow that fast for new people to come in. So a third space can be any social program. It can be serving in a soup kitchen. It can be volunteering for a particular summer program. You have to have that, because that is where you are not going there to date. You are going there to invest your time to know the people that are there. You understand that? And so whilst you are serving in that program, so you have to know a lot of those programs in your neighborhood and plug yourself in there. If it's after school serving, whatever program is a social third space. I am an NGO organizer. One of my programs is literally to create social third spaces for singles to come and gather. So you have to find about 4 or 5 of those social third spaces and go and register and be part of it. YMCA, whatever, and be part of that. What you are doing is that you are creating a space where you interact with people, and based on that, you are creating the possibility of meeting people and observing their lives in that space. You understand what I'm trying to say? Definitely, you will have friends introduce friends to you and stuff like that. That's how most people get to meet new people. But if you invest in one or two social third spaces, people that are there in that space already, you interact with them, and based on that interaction, you have created a social third space. Like I said, you are not going to find a boyfriend in that social third space. You just need a space where a boyfriend can fall into it. And when the boyfriend falls into it, because you are going to interact with him on that social third space, you will get to know a little bit about them. So when something sparks between the two of you, you are not dating a stranger. You understand that? So if you have that machine working for you, then you are not just sitting down hoping somebody will come, because you have invested your time as a single person in one or two social third spaces, and you are there to do whatever the program calls you to do. If it's an art class, if it's a dance class, that's what you are there to do. And definitely people will come there. And I'm saying that it is a good thing for you to select the person you want to date out of the social third space. But like I said, that is not enough for you to be married. You can't just get married just because you're in a social third space. So that is the first thing, though. You must have a social. So if I meet somebody and I'm planning their curriculum to find a life partner, I will ask you, how many social third spaces are you involved in? You understand that? If you say I'm involved in two, I said that's a good one. So you keep working the social third space like that. The other thing is also you need a digital third space. You need a digital third space. Now, this is going to be a little difficult, but I have to push for it. Now, internet is a scary place for one reason. If you meet somebody and then you met the person through a friend, at least when the person when somebody asks you, but do you know this guy you are going out with? You say, I don't know the guy, but this friend knows the guy. So at least you have a reference point. So it's not that scary. But when you go online, the likelihood of knowing the person is not great. So sometimes you feel like it's not a safe place to be. But let me tell you the truth. It's only a psychological effect that makes people get afraid of each other online. Because online, the person think you are a murderer. You also think they're a murderer. So it's just what I call stereotyping mentality. You know what I'm saying? So when you go online, there's this fear factor. You might be genuine, they might be genuine, but because it's online, there's this assumption that what if they're crazy? What if there is a serial killer? So it's all in the head. You understand that? So you have to understand that crazy people are offline, crazy people are online. Is the same ratio. If you take 20 guys online, maybe 10 are crazy. If you take 20 guys offline, maybe 10 are crazy. It's the same ratio online and offline. But just that because online is a virtual space, people are not comfortable. But what I would say is that apart from working your physical space, you must work the online space. You must work the online space by intentionally connecting to people. I have been a pastor for about almost 50 people online that have never met them before. You understand that? So there are real people online that you can connect to. So you must engage online actively and don't go online to find a life partner. This structure, I'm telling you, think of it as the same as medical school. Nobody go to medical school to be a doctor the same day. They are going for the whole thing. So if you meet people online, become normal to them, relate to them. That is how you can. So when I see a person that has 3 healthy social third spaces and also a good online presence connecting with people in a meaningful way, I know that person can be married very soon. And they will get married, but they wouldn't know they did the right things. But I want to step back for you to understand that engage powerfully online, connect with real people, interact with them. Don't go online to meet people that wants you send naked pictures. Don't go online to meet people that, you know what I'm saying, they are normal people online. I'm online, you are online. Are we not normal? So they are normal human beings online, and the world is changing. So online is very important for you to know how. Let me tell you this. Just as you will not allow your 7-year-old to be alone at home because you know that it's not safe, in the same way, if you're only 7 years old online, it's not safe. You have to know how to walk online safely and do well online. Do you understand that? So apart from your social third phase, physical third space, you need an online space where you interact with a bunch of people. That's where international relationships are possible. But you must understand that if you are afraid of the internet, you cannot have a good curriculum that will get you a life partner. So you need to work on the internet safely, put all the safeguards around you, and navigate online, and you will meet a lot of quality and nice people that you will never meet in real life. So the internet has brought people to you. On the internet, you don't have to be shy. On the internet, you don't have to put on makeup. On the internet, all you have to do is learn how to spell, and you have some fun interaction with people. So, oh my goodness. There are some people on WhatsApp as I'm speaking, and in 20 WhatsApp groups, and one of the groups, your boyfriend is there, but you don't even know. You have to interact. You have to go online, interact. And the point I'm saying is that never look for a life partner. Never look for a boyfriend. Just interact with people. That is how you get the program going. When you have a lot, it's like sowing seeds, you understand? The Bible says, he that throws a seed sparingly, you get sparingly. But if you throw it bountifully, so it's like throwing a seed, throw some online, throw some on WhatsApp, throw some on social third space. So the more you throw seeds around, seed of relationship, if you try to go for a boyfriend, you will screw yourself up. Just have a normal relationship with normal people. Out of that normal relationship, a fruit of boyfriend will come out. But if you stay home and you say, as for me, I don't have nobody. Nobody is my friend. I don't go. You will stay in your apartment till you turn 102. You understand that? So it's very important that you set these structures in place. So let me recap again. For you to be in the school of getting married at the right time, you have to engage in not less than 2 social third spaces, excluding your church and your job. Engage in external programs. Everything. When they say, okay, we are looking for volunteer to go register for, just look for those things and join that, because you get to interact with new people. And don't forget, the rule is that when you are interacting, don't look for boyfriend. Don't even tell them your relationship status, because that's not what you're there for. You are there for to know people, so that out of the people you know, if you like any of them in that circle, you know that I know this guy already because we go to the same YMCA program. So he's not stupid. I like the way he dressed. I like the way he talks. I like the way so you have a little bit of history about human beings before you date them. If you are somebody online, you have spoke to somebody online for a while, so you have a knowledge about them. But to just sit home and then somebody say, I have this guy for you to meet, and the first day you guys go out as if you are dating each other, which is a waste of time. All of our hearts are broken for no reason, because you just met somebody that they introduced you 2 days ago, and you say, I'm out on the date with the person, and all of you are sitting there tense, and that is stupid. You understand? That's why people marry people that are already married. The reason why you end up marrying somebody who's already married, you end up marrying somebody who has a girlfriend. Some people will be going out with people for about 4 weeks and they don't know whether the guy is single or not, because it has not come up. We have not talked about it. That is very stupid. You understand what I'm saying? So the way you have a quality relationship is to make sure that every person that you accept into your private life, you have known in your public life. Anybody you accept into your private life, make sure you have known the person in your public life first. Don't date a stranger. You will be in trouble. Do you understand? Don't date a stranger. You'll be in trouble. So this is how it works. The guy must come from a stranger and fall into your social third space. And the person must stay in your social third space enough for you to have a concrete knowledge about who he is. And then from the social third space, they move into your private space. There you start dating them. So you have to create a lot of those social third spaces. So because out of there is where you will recruit them back into your private life. Don't date a stranger. It sounds romantic, it sounds beautiful, but it's the most dumbest idea ever. No company will employ a stranger. They will do a background check on you. They will make sure you bring references. It's stupidity to date a stranger. I will now apologize. It doesn't matter how cute it is. It doesn't matter how sexy she is. It's stupidity to date a stranger. You understand that? Because you end up hurting yourself for no reason. You understand that? So let me go back to my program. So social third space is the first thing, involving at least two of them. Digital third space, involving as many as possible and learn how to operate. But the cardinal rule is that you are not operating in those spaces for boyfriend. You just want to get to know people, period. All right. And then lastly, after that, after you have enough social third spaces and you have enough digital third spaces, the next thing is to intentionally now begin to move things from one level to another. Let's say you have been in the social third space with a guy for a while and you realize that he is single. When the friendship continues, you now have the I think I will talk about that in another show because I don't want to mess what I've talked about up. The first thing I would say is that to get married on time, the elements that must be in place is that you must intentionally involve yourself in not less than 2 social third spaces. So check your calendar or check your life. Are you in any social third space? If the answer is no, you are not in any school of getting married. If you are not going to get married, don't blame yourself. That's the first thing. Number 2, are you in any digital third space? Obviously you are, and you must intentionally relate to people in those digital third space. The last cardinal rule is that make sure you don't involve yourself in third spaces with the notion of finding a boyfriend. That is not the purpose of social third space. The purpose of social third space is not to get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, but to get to know people, period. Definitely people will start coming to you, but the rule is that don't accept relationship unless you have a good idea. Some people are very hot. Some people let's laugh at first sight. Some people are very, very attractive. As soon as you see them, you don't mind going out with them, but don't do that. You understand that? Because and I know that it's so difficult to find good people. So if you find a good one, you have to catch the person quickly. But you are not desperate. That's the thing. You are not desperate. So marriage is such a mess that you don't want to rush into it. Divorce is messier than to divorce somebody is more messier than to stay with the person, especially if there's kids involved. You understand that? So make sure that you have involved yourself in good enough third space. And then I think I'll talk about your attitude in the third space. You have to be a person that is meaningful, a person that connects with people on that level. And then I think the last thing I would say with structuring yourself with a system that will get you married is the fact that apart from you have your digital third space and your social third space, what the next thing you need also is communication skills. Communication skills. Pretty much, if you don't know how to communicate very well, the social third space will help you, because if you're working in the YMCA, you just volunteer and you go there, and whoever works there, you will talk to them naturally. But you have to try and be a person that communicates with people. You understand? In other words, you have to not be shy, not be because the whole thing is because you are not there to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Freely communicate with people. Let me say something which is missing. Back in the day, right? There was a curriculum that was called, I think, social etiquette and things like that, where in school they would teach you how to have a conversation, how to use a fork and a knife, how to, all of those things. Nobody teaches anymore. You understand? We pick it on TV and things like that. But there's a way you can approach a stranger and you can have a meaningful conversation with a stranger. You understand? Let me tell you something that happened to me. I was already married, but if I wasn't, that would have been a good friend to have. I was living in Connecticut and my job was in New York City. And so I had to take the train from Connecticut to New York City back and forth. And so it became my daily routine. And so after 5 weeks now, I realized that there was this particular lady and her routine is the same as mine. So we ended up taking the train at the same time over and over again. And one thing led to another. I had produced my first CD. And so I approached her. I said, do you listen to gospel music? This is one of my songs that I have done. And I really will appreciate if you will take a listen, because I see you take the train all the time, and let me know what you think when you come next time I meet you on the train. And because she has also seen me over and over again, it was like, get away from me, stranger, you creepy. It wasn't like that. So she took the CD, and then the following day we became friends. We're talking about, hey, I like this song. And so that is how you connect with people. You find a common ground and you connect with them. You understand? You have to be strategic. You have to be intentional. It's just like those who do sales and those who do things. When you go to the marketplace, the women that sell all their products before 5 o'clock and they go home, they might not have the best product, but they know how to wrap the thing. When you step out into because in Africa, or I don't know in other places, but in Africa, when you get into the marketplace, you have 8 tomato sellers on the line. We have 5 salt sellers. So it's not just one person. So to know who to go, you have to be a regular. But if you're a new person in the town, as soon as you step into their lane, they start describing how awesome you are. They say, oh, look at that fine man coming by my salt. You know what I'm saying? So you have to develop the kind of lingo where you can admire a stranger with the nice words. It doesn't have to be a guy or a girl. Anybody can do that. You have to admire people. So, wow, I like the way this shirt looks on you. And you go away. That's all you say. You sow a little seed of connection. The next time when they see you, they're like, hello, how are you? They think they know you already. So that's how you plug into people's life. You understand that? And you're plugging into just be a person, no dates, no nothing like that. I would still restrict that. Let me give you a rule. Until you are in at least 6 months in a social third space, don't date anybody in that space. It's a hard one, but agree with me. You'll be happy you did. Until you are at least 6 months in the social third space. Some of the programs you will do, they might not be how might I put it? They might not be that long. If you volunteer for a program that runs for only 5 weeks, you might not have 6 months. But the whole point is that make sure that the person you have accepted into your private life, you have known a decent amount of his life in the public circle. So the whole diagram is that you create a public circle called your social third space, and the people that fall into it are the people you interact when you go to that programs. There's different programs online. There are just music. There's a lot of things you can join. You can even create your own if you want. So it's a matter of enjoying your life. And when you do what I'm saying, you will never feel like you are single. You will never even pray to be married because your life will be fulfilled. You'll be helping. For example, if you volunteer to help kids, for example, because of the kids, you will forget that you are single. You'll be enjoying the time with them. You will never sleep in your bed and say, I'm so single, nobody's calling me, nobody is texting me. You will be fully engaged to a point that you will forget that, hey, I need to date somebody, because you are fully fulfilled. Most people are pathetic and single simply because they are sitting down somewhere and they are not ready to kind of mingle and kind of serve people and give their time to do something positive. So they always look into themselves and they feel single. I will be right back to continue. So right now, I would like you to send all your questions and your insults and anything you want to tell me through the text message, and then I will be right back to answer them and wrap it up. All right. So send all your questions through to the text message that you begin by the announcer. And then as soon as I come back right after this song, on the other side of the song, I'm going to take some questions so we can wrap this thing up. But I hope you are getting where I'm going with this. All right.
Yeah, man. The Bible says, Psalm number 27, the verse number 3. Jah is in control.
Young Trill on the beat.
Though an host may encamp against me, God is in control. I shall not fear, for God is in control. Oh, Lord. Many are the afflictions of the righteous. Deliverance is coming. How long now? Weeping may endure for a night, but in the morning, joy is coming. Joy like a river. Whom Jah bless, no man can curse. I will rise 7 times. 7 times I will rise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord is my light and my salvation. I, whom shall I fear? Oh, 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 you are in control. You are in control. Oh, 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 you are in control. You are in control. You got the whole world in your hands, Lord. You got the whole world in your hands, Lord. You got the whole world in your hands, Lord. You got the whole world in your hands, Lord. You got the whole world in your hands, Lord. You got the whole world in your hands, Lord. You got the whole world in your hands, Lord. Whom Jah bless, no man can curse. I will rise up. I will rise up. I am not alone. God is in control. God is in control. Yes. I am not alone. God is in control. God is in control. Yeah. I am not alone. God is in control. God is in control. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. You are in control. You are in control. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. You are in control. You are in control. Yeah.
All right, we're back. So, to just wrap it up, I want to just, for those of you that just joining, I want to just give you a little summary of what the show was about. We are talking about how to get married on time, and the only way to do that is to take control of the vehicle that will get you married. And we realize that because of the way love is, most people don't have control over their love life. They allow the story of life to take over. They leave it to chance. They want it to be very magical in a wonderland for you to bump into your Prince Charming when the books will fall down and then you pick up and you have eye contact in a Hollywood kind of way. That is bullshit. Sorry to say that doesn't happen in real life. So to get married, you have to have a program, a system that you have designed for yourself that will connect you to real quality people that you can get into their lives and form meaningful relationship with. And I talked about the fact that there is a system you must design, and that system requires your time. And don't tell me you don't have time. The reason why you are single is because you have time. So every single person have time. You understand? I'm not saying that to kind of insult single people, but you have time, because the reason why sometimes you want to go out with somebody is because you have time, but you have nobody to go out with. So every single person has some time. So you take that time and you invest that time, and then through that investment, it will yield quality relationship, and you plug one of them as your life partner. So I talked about the fact that you need few things on the strategy table. The first thing that you need not less than 2 social third spaces. A social third space is not your house, it's not your job, it's not your church, but another place where people gather to do things. It can be a YMCA volunteer work, it can be serving at the soup kitchen, but you need a very medium-sized kind of social third space. A dance class is okay, a gym membership, that is okay, but that one, people already come already group, but it has to be a social third space where you go there once a month to interact with people. You follow? And when you have 2 of those big ones, you are really doing good. And then you need also a digital third space. you need to first learn how to navigate yourself through online. There are a lot of husbands online. There are a lot of wives online. There are a lot of quality people online. You just have to know how to connect with them. But the rule you must observe is that when you invest in social third space, don't invest trying to find relationship. Just interact with people, period. Because as soon as you do, for example, if you go online and you go to dating sites, it's a problem because everybody there is there to date. So that is not good. You want to go to a social test space where they are learning how to cook. You understand that? So that people can be themselves. Anytime people are dating, they are fake. So you don't go to online sites. Go to regular sites where people are learning how to make African jollof. Groups like that are very social. Nothing really romantic about those group. You get to interact with people at their organic state. You understand that? So on WhatsApp group, join groups that are talking about Christian stuff, general things. You understand, and interact with people. There's a lot of people online. If I give you the statistics, you'll be shocked. About $5 million industry for the single people looking for partners. So there are a lot of people out there. So you have to intentionally. So here's what I'm saying to a single person. If you are single and you are not involved in any social third space, I blame you for you being single. If you are single and you're not involved in any digital third space, I blame you for you. You have to involve in quality third spaces that interacts with people, that creates this kind of healthy thing for people and all of the good stuff. You understand? One of these days I'll do a show on 20 strategies you can use to create a social third space for yourself, and it's going to be amazing. So I want you to know that is kind of how you position yourself. So let me summarize everything for you. To walk down the aisle with a person is a bad idea to walk down the aisle with a person you just met. The problem with most of our African tradition is that when you meet a person right away, when you start working with them, you are locked into boyfriend, girlfriend, and it looks like that is the person you must be with. And that you are locked in it, but that's not good. You want to have a social third space where the person is in your public circle and you observe each other in the public circle, so that when they become your boyfriend, you knew them when they were in the public circle. And the only way that can happen is that when you are in the public circle, you are there not to date anybody. You understand that? So public sector, you know, this guy work on with the kids that I work with. There's a kids program we work on. He comes there, and that's how I get to know him. He's not a stranger, but we don't talk that much. When you get to talk to them, at least you observe him come to the program, and so you have an idea who he is, and then you graduate them back into your circle, and then gradually they become the person that you love. The cardinal rule is that never date a stranger. You understand? Don't date a stranger. It will you hurt yourself for no good reason. So I have to sign off here, and then we will catch up again because time is not on my side. But I hope you enjoyed it. You can email me, you can text me, and then when I come back in the next show, I will definitely get all the questions answered. All right. God bless you.
Yeah, man. The Bible says, Psalm number 27, the verse number 3. Jah is in control.
Young Trill on the beat.
Though an host may encamp against me, God